But you don't think Carnival will reach too far now where we could say naked mass?
We have that part of it, but there is that part of it, but we still hold on to the traditional part of it.
That's just you all, but you think other bands that's something that they should do?
Surprise! There's games. Welcome to KVTV. My name is Asne and I'm going to do a movie review on Nutjob.
Step in the club, looking fly with my crew. See you looking at me, tell me what you wanna do. Looking for love, I just wanna have fun. I'm heading home when it's said and done. You're coming closer, yes, you wanna dance. I'm on for so heading in. Dance all seems like
When Richard talks, Gigi listens.
Tell me, talk about what you want to talk about.
What do I want to talk about? Well, let's talk about the hills over there. Swing your camera around along and look at that. That is the beauty of Trinidad and Tobago. That is the thing that I have always loved about Trinidad and Tobago. Those hills. I don't know how long they will last. Because all kind of people are going up there and doing all kind of trippiness. Some going up and quoting. Some going up and building big houses and mansions. Some going up and squatting. Some are even putting dumps close to the water base and polluting the base. It's an absolute mess. As I say, I don't know what to do, to be truthful. I just like everybody else. I am totally lost as to well, I know what to do, you know, but I know what is required. But it is a radical step. I don't think most people are ready for that. And I always approach things from a black perspective, in terms of my first allegiance. And you know, one of the things about black people is that I asked a question the other day. If someone was to offer you 40 acres and a mule or an education, which one would you prefer? Well, there are a lot of people who told me education. A lot of black people told me that they would prefer to get an education. Believe it or not. Okay? They're so programmed and they know nothing about the history, because if you really examine education and what it is, we are currently engaged in a system that began as what is called the Prussian educational system. Okay? And it was the Prussian king was defeated, and he had a commission of inquiry to decide why he was defeated, and he realized that everybody taught for themselves. So he decided to create a system that would create obedience. And the system was like this way. The top 1% were taught to think. 3 or 4% below that were taught to be functionaries. These would be the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers. And the other 95% were taught just to be obedient. And black people have been sold this education as a thing of social mobility. And it's not working. It's not working for several reasons. A, because the people at the top, that 1%, get a different type of education. Most people in royal families in Europe, by the time the children are 10 years old, they have learned to master a horse, they can ride. You have that confidence. Education is about getting confidence. I basically educated myself from the age of 40. From the age of 40, I decided that government had nothing to teach me. And none of these schools, that I went about educating myself. And it's been a continuous learning experience for me. Some people might say it caused me to be bipolar, narcissistic, schizophrenic, you name it, sociopathic. But I went about educating myself. And when you do that, even though you might be qualified in this, you feel competent to tackle anything that you're not qualified in. Okay? And what you have is a set of qualified people who, if they pursue it all the way to a doctorate, get 1 degree of education in a world of 360 degrees of knowledge. And this 1 degree of education is handed out usually by masons wearing mortarboard hats, and there's a symbology behind that mortarboard hat. They have to degree, and they think that they are sent out in the world to essentially modify creation and make creation better and fix what was never broken. And you see evidence of this all around. You see evidence of this in things like genetically modified food, where they're changing the genome of the food we're eating, and it's dangerous because they don't even understand the genome, because they only recently discovered that there's a code within the code. Okay? And you can't even do it precisely because they're using a gun to shoot DNA in, and it creates a random thing of where exactly it sits, and you don't know exactly what the effects are. And the people that are doing this are the people who petrochemical companies who are creating poisons like Agent Orange. And in order for these plants to survive, you have to keep spraying them with more and more poison. And it's like medicine, it's all about, they never really give you a cure, they give you medicine so they can have customers, you can keep coming back over and over and over. And so, you know, this whole education paradigm where the best and brightest minds in the world are engaged really in creating weapons of mass destruction. Like the other day I read that they're going to build a laser that will have 100 times the power of, 100,000 times the power of all the power stations on planet Earth. Consider that for a moment. You're talking like petaflops worth of power. No, it will only be able to shoot the estimate for a billionth of a second or something like that. But that's enough to destroy, you know. And so you have all of these minds engaged in this thing. And you had a funny time in life, you know. There's a quote from a book called Steppenwolf that says, human beings know no greater suffering than when two ages, civilizations, or I forget what religions I think overlap. But we're in such an age where we're moving between the industrial and the information age.